so we've got 2 minutes on 4 types of embalming. There is arterial, topical, hypodermic, and cavity. So these are the 4 types or areas that we can do embalming in. Arterial is simply that, injecting into the arterial system of the human body, which goes in through the arterial, and then the blood is pushed out through the venous system. We use a machine like this, trying to point backwards here, which is an embalming machine. So the pressurized of the fluid going in and the blood coming out. That is an arterial injection. We then do a cavity injection where we use a trocar. Go watch my other 2-minute videos for some of these terms. We use a trocar to aspirate out fluids out of the cavity, the thoracic and the abdominal cavities. We then use the trocar attached to a bottle of straight cavity fluid to place that fluid into the abdomen. That embalms, preserves the thoracic and abdominal part of the cavity of the person. Sometimes we also have to hypodermically inject. This means putting fluid straight into the tissue through the skin, where we will inject either with small hypodermic needles. We may use a larger, kind of like a mid-sized trocar or an infant trocar that's hooked up to the machine or hooked up right to the fluid. And we channel that into, channeling means you make small little channels in the tissue, and you're releasing fluid in those channels as you're putting it in. That allows that fluid to go in and preserve the tissue that maybe the arterial system is lacking in certain areas, and there's poor distribution in certain areas. We then also topically can treat the areas where we put fluid packs on the top of the skin and let that fluid, that embalming fluid, preserve down into the tissue. Sometimes they're called cavity packs. We may use gels that are formaldehyde based to put on the tissue to soak down in to help preserve. Embalming is the temporary preservation of the deceased. So we want to get that tissue preserved for long enough for us to have a viewing. We may use one of those 4 types, or sometimes all of those types of embalming methods.